What is going on, everybody? It's the Francis, and we're here for our Smackdown Live review for May 22nd, 2018. It's really fucking great to go from a shitty show that we got last night to come to Smackdown Live and have a decent show. Not like the best show of all time for Smackdown, but better than what we saw back when, the likes of Jinder Mahal was WWE Champion and Smackdown was just on its way to the abyss to never return. This was a good show. Was it perfect? No. They don't do perfect shows, and even in the Attitude Era, they didn't have perfect shows. They had much better shows. A lot more things made sense, but they were never 100% perfect. It's just impossible, because there's always going to be things from shows that are going to be good, maybe, and there's always going to be times where every show is going to have at least one or two things that are bad. Tonight we had 3 Money in the Bank qualifiers, 2 for the women, 1 for the we had 2 Money in the Bank qualifiers, and then we had another qualifier to get into a Money in the Bank qualifier, a last chance pretty much for Daniel Bryan and Jeff Hardy. My biggest gripe for 2 of the 3 matches that had to do with Money in the Bank tonight are why are they getting second chances? Sonya Deville, why is she going up against Naomi tonight? Jeff Hardy and Daniel Bryan, they both lost their Money in the Bank qualifiers. Why are they getting pinned? Why are they getting a second chance to take on Samoa Joe next week? Big Cass is injured, and probably actuality because they probably would have had him get, I think that last week that was why Daniel Bryan took out Big Cass, was because he's injured and they needed to have an excuse to write him off TV, so they had Daniel Bryan go out there and use his new finisher, his new heel hook. The Yes Lock might not be used as much because he did use the heel hook tonight to pretty much beat Jeff Hardy tonight. So Daniel Bryan with a new finisher, that is great. He is a submission specialist. He can do the Yes Lock, he can do the heel hook, he can do anything that he wants. And that Dragon Screw tonight, I will talk about that a little bit more later, looked devastating. We had New Day on MITB today, which was one of the down points in my opinion, because the New Day just can't take anything seriously, can they? You have these guys who are supposed to come out, give us who's going to be in the Money in the Bank, and they just make a big joke of it. Can these guys ever get serious? I'm over the New Day. I have been for like 2 years now. I know nothing lasts forever. I know they've been around since probably 2014, maybe 2013, I can't remember, as a faction. But it's time to end the New Day. It's time for Big E to get serious. It's time for Xavier Woods to be 100% serious. And it's time for Kofi to also be serious. It's alright to have fun and games and joke around every once in a while, but you guys won a match last week. You need to decide who's going into Money in the Bank. Not, oh, I'm going to be in, I'm going to be in, I'm going to be in. Oh, he should be in. Oh, no, he should be in. It's just pick your poison and let's get on with this. And, of course, my other nitpick would be the fact that we had a Money in the Bank match, qualifying match, which saw Naomi take on Sonya Deville in a second chance for Sonya Deville, who I guess blew up Paige's phone because she didn't tap out, she didn't get beat, and she should get another chance because she didn't lose the match, leaving pretty much putting her friend Mandy Rose out to dry, which didn't do much for her anyway. And of course, the main event, which was Jeff Hardy versus Daniel Bryan. 2 big gripes about that match. One, it is a first time ever, so why are we getting it on SmackDown Live? That is a pay-per-view match right there. That is 2 Daniel Bryan matches this year so far. It's one-on-one matches that were given away free on TV. We had AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan, his first singles match back. And now we had tonight Jeff Hardy versus Daniel Bryan. Now, Rusev versus Daniel Bryan, people are like, oh, well, that's a pay-per-view quality match. That's one that you can get away with on SmackDown, in my opinion. This, I don't find any excuse for. Daniel Bryan versus Jeff Hardy could be the U.S. title match at Money in the Bank. It literally could be Jeff Hardy versus Daniel Bryan for the United States Championship. And you know what? Take my money, there you go. Why was it on SmackDown tonight? It did not need to be there. Why did these 2 get another chance to face Samoa Joe because Big Cass is out? Where's Ty Dillinger? Why didn't Ty Dillinger get a chance to take on Samoa Joe next week to be the guy to lose to Samoa Joe? Now you set up Daniel Bryan versus Samoa Joe, another pay-per-view quality match, another pay-per-view match that we should see at Money in the Bank or at SummerSlam or at Extreme Rules. One of these pay-per-view matches, again, thrown on TV. That's 3 matches out of the 4 single matches that he's had since he's been back that should not be on SmackDown. They should be on pay-per-view. This, of course, is because of the fact that everything's dual-branded, and we'll talk about that more on Unscripted this week, about WWE wanting to move all pay-per-views to 4 hours instead of 3 to, put more people on there, and I'll have my thoughts on that. But this tonight and next week and the 2 nights after WrestleMania shows that WWE has too much talent, and WWE, especially on SmackDown has more of a problem than Raw does because Daniel Bryan's return, and Daniel Bryan's exclusive to SmackDown. So you have AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Shinsuke Nakamura, Samoa Joe, Shelton Benjamin, who we haven't seen in a while, all can go up against Daniel Bryan and give you pay-per-view quality matches. So that's going to be a lot harder. Unlike Raw, where we don't really have that pay-per-view quality match that we haven't already seen because everybody on Raw has either faced somebody before. Daniel Bryan coming back at SmackDown on the night at WrestleMania gave us more options on SmackDown than we do on Raw for big money matches that they're just going to give away to us on free TV. So SmackDown Live, of course, opened with The Miz. Talked about his Miz and Mrs. show coming to WWE, to USA Network in July 24th or 28th, I think right after SmackDown, so yay! I'm not going to watch. I don't really care for shows like that. It's not my thing. So if you want to see Miz and Mrs., it will be on July 29th or something like that. Oh well. Then, of course, he brings out the New Day to, decide who's going to go to Money in the Bank. And, of course, these guys cannot be serious whatsoever. And here's New Day on the Miz TV.
One member of your team gets to go on to the Money in the Bank ladder match.
All right. I don't think we should keep him waiting anymore. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
I'm just going to stop time up for a minute. I do pop for that because that is the how many licks does it take to go to the lollipop, the Tootsie Roll Pops thing. That was just something I had to laugh about. A 1, a 2, a 3, and then he doesn't do the crunch. But that was the funny part right there. But that I can excuse. But more times than not, the New Day is just insufferable when it comes to the comedy because it's just rinse and repeat old shit, and I don't want to hear it anymore.
It's gonna be me! No, you know what the difference is between you 3 and me is? That I've won Money in the Bank, cashed in, and became WWE Champion. Can you say that about yourself, Kofi?
This is good.
Yeah, sure, you won the United States, the Intercontinental, and the Tag Team Championships, but just imagine climbing that ladder, grabbing that contract, and cashing in, becoming WWE Champion!
Looks like briefcase is still a bad a forbidden word because he had to stop himself before he would say briefcase. He had to say Money in the Bank contract because WWE and Vince McMahon doesn't like the word briefcase being used. Just because Vince McMahon's a petty motherfucker who just has to nitpick and say, well, it's not a briefcase, it's a contract. What are they holding? What's holding the contract there, you dumb fuck? What are they reaching up for? They're reaching up for a briefcase that holds the contract, dumbass.
Then again, you have been in 6 Money in the Bank matches and haven't won a single one. It's time to give someone else a chance. Big E, look at you. The size, the charisma, the undeniable it factor. When that bell rings, you have the fire, the speed, the strength, everything it takes to be a true champion. However, you'll never be taken seriously because you don't take yourself seriously.
Praise the Lord, praise the Jesus, praise the wrestling gods. That is exactly what I've been saying on here. I shouldn't have been saying this. But Big E's biggest problem is he doesn't take himself seriously, so nobody's going to take him serious. I want to see Big E get that seriousness in him that he used to have. I understand why Big E's first singles run failed in, 2013, 2014, whenever he came up from NXT when he was still NXT champion. Because he came up, he was put into a role as being the bodyguard of Dolph Ziggler. When they broke that away, he had no character, he had no personality. They stripped him of his 5 count gimmick that he had in NXT. They just made him this bland, white meat babyface to say, who just came out and really didn't have nothing. So putting him with the New Day has given Big E a chance to become a more multi-dimensional character, but now he needs to have some seriousness to him, which he never does anymore.
But someone who takes himself very seriously is Xavier Woods. You have a YouTube empire in Up, Down, Down. Over 1.5 million subscribers. You built that on your own from the ground up.
His name value also happens too, because it's not like Xavier Woods is like a schmo like me who sits there and has to work on it himself. Xavier Woods could go to Twitch, put him onto Twitch, and had about 1 million subscribers in a year and a half. Once he got partnered, but you know what I mean. He went to Up, Down, Down, and he had a following immediately. That's not saying he did it on his own. Being in the WWE does have its perks when it comes to creating a YouTube channel. Big E, the Bella Twins, I believe Sheamus has one now too, speaks for itself. You have a name like Xavier Woods, like the Bella Twins, like Sheamus. I believe Braun Strowman has one too, but I could be wrong. They don't have as much struggle as people like me, who's a no-name, who doesn't have the traction that he does. So that one kind of sticks to me a little bit, because it's like he didn't do it on his own. He does work for WWE, and he does have a kind of a name that everybody should be able to follow.
Imagine streaming a game of Fortnite with the WWE
champion
around your waist. Imagine the intent.
He said streaming a game of Fortnite. He's like, Fortnite, and the crowd gets on him, and he's like, I don't play that type of game, and then he continues on what he says.
The adulation, the fans, you would be a real-life superhero. Each of you has a chance to go down as one of the greatest champions, one of the greatest WWE champions in history with this Money in the Bank contract. So I will ask again, who's it going to be?
They're cutting out too, but I'll say it anyway. Then they start trying to be like, they try to get cute and everything. They start like having like arguments with themselves a little bit. Then Miz comes over and says, you know what? It doesn't matter which one of you it is, because I'm going to win Money in the Bank, and I can beat each and every one of you anytime, any day of the week. And then they decide to come together and have a nice little conference.
All right. I mean, you pretty much made the decision for us. It's going to be E.
There you have it, an exclusive on MITB. Big E will be in the Money in the Bank.
Whoa, Miz, you are mistaken. We're talking about something else. We're not talking about Money in the Bank anymore. Oh, no. We're talking about tonight.
You want you versus me right here, right now? Well, if I don't get what I want, you don't get what you want. No match. See one of you at Money in the Bank.
The pancakes of shame. Oh.
Shame.
They start throwing pancakes at him, saying shame. He runs off. He heads to the back. They show him in gorilla position. Paige is there, which, before we get to the match, I will have to say, this is the only time we see Paige for the night, which I do enjoy the fact that we either don't see the general manager or commissioner, even though Shane McMahon is out due to recovering from surgery for his hernia and anything else that he had on his way to WrestleMania, which I gotta say, whether you like it or not, Shane is commendable for the fact that he went through WrestleMania with a hernia and any other type of injury. So, speedy recovery to Shane. But she does say, I get it, not everyone likes pancakes, You said you could be anyone in the New Day on a given night, so go do it. Go do it. She like pretty much hushed it, like pretty much said, hush, go, and sent him back out to face Big E for the first match of the night. So it was Big E and The Miz. Wood was on commentary for the beginning of it. He does jump off commentary when they had this boxing, like when when boxers go through rounds, they have these little stools that they sit in the corner while they're getting, rested up and everything, water and all that good stuff, cleaned up a little bit. They have one of those in the corner. Xavier Woods jumps off commentary, and him with Big E sitting on the stool, and Kofi opens a container, a bottle of syrup to pour down Big E's mouth so he can do a spit out, and then Xavier Woods puts some whatever that's fucking that stuff on that prevents cuts or something onto Big E's cheeks. Kofi then jumps on commentary, bellies to belly by E. Warriors, I call it the Warrior Splash, where he does back and forth and then splash by E. He hits an Uranagi to the Miz for a 2 count. Miz gets a snap DDT on E for a 2 count. Both men down after a double clothesline. The Bar make their way out to destroy Xavier Woods. Kofi comes over. He leaps off of Cesaro, taking out Sheamus until Sheamus finally gets back up as Bob Kofi Kingston is pretty much fighting off Cesaro and hits him with the bro kick. They get out. Cesaro gets on the apron and distracts the Miz. So not the Miz, but Big E. So Miz can hit the Skull Crushing finale for the 3 count. The Miz is a heel. So this is the only time I'd say in the last year that it's warranted for a heel to win by cheating the way the Miz used to do it with the Miztourage. It doesn't happen all the time, and the fact that the New Day is feuding with the Bar makes sense that the Bar are going to come down, cause a ruckus, have Sheamus or Cesaro get on the apron, and then have the Miz win with their help. This, of course, will set up a match. And I was like, okay, we're going to get another 6-man tag match, rinse and repeat. Not this week. That's going to happen next week. Again, rinse and repeat. Distraction by into the Bar, hits the Skull Crushing finale for the Miz in the 3 count. In the back, Daniel Bryan is asked about his second chance. Says it means everything. I know things about second chances. Now I treat every match like the biggest match of my career. Says Jeff Hardy is a legend. Jeff Hardy is a revolutionary in the business. Tonight, Jeff Hardy and me go one-on-one for the first time ever. And tonight, a legend will tap out. Yes, Jeff Hardy is a legend. Yes, Jeff Hardy is a Hall of Famer in the making. When his time is done and he is done wrestling, he will be a Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. Lana versus Billie Kay. Everybody. This match lasted about 2 minutes, maybe 3. Aiden English is out here to introduce Lana. He actually gets a Lana is the best, Lana #1 chant. Which again shows that everybody in the known universe who goes to one of these events is a sheep because they get you to say anything. Miz got you to say Miz and Mrs. Lana, Aiden got you to chant Lana is the best, Lana #1, and Lana Day. That got a huge reaction when Lana wins this match. English is out here to introduce Lana to #1 contender, #1 chant. Aiden has a Lana Day sign out there, out at ringside, the crowd's chanting Lana Day, Lana Day. It should be Lana's Day, I think is what it should be, even if it isn't. So Peyton Royce comes up from behind him, slaps him, then Lana slaps Peyton Royce, tosses her into the barricade. Billie Kay, I think, gets a knee onto Lana, tosses her into the ring, but Lana gets a kick to Billie Kay's head, hits her with an X Factor, whatever they're going to call it. She says Machka and does the X Factor. 1, 2, 3. Lana is going to Money in the Bank. There is a rumor, which I'm sure it's just a rumor, that there is talk in WWE to have Lana and Rusev win men's and women's Money in the Bank. It's probably nothing. It's probably not going to happen. But there is a rumor going on that there's talk in the back that Lana and Rusev are pegged to possibly be the second choices to win Money in the Bank, to have the first couple of the WWE ever to win Money in the Bank. Now, because they're not, when you win the Money in the Bank ladder match, the briefcase becomes brand exclusive. So if Miz wins the Money in the Bank ladder match, the WWE Championship is the only title he can go for. If Balor wins the Money in the Bank, only he can go for the Universal Championship. So SmackDown's winning is going to have the men's Money in the Bank ladder match winner. That is a given. There is no fucking way they're going to let anybody but Roman Reigns win that Universal Championship. So that one's going to go to SmackDown. So that means Raw is going to have a winner, one of either Ember Moon, Natalya, Alexa Bliss, or whoever wins tomorrow, Monday night, have the Money in the Bank ladder match for the women. So SmackDown's going to get the men's, and Raw's going to get the women's. It only makes sense. So Lana is the next to last woman for the SmackDown side to be added into Money in the Bank. We would have a second one later in the night. It was announced that Usos versus the Club when it goes on to Money in the Bank to face the Bludgeon Brothers for the tag team titles. It is nice to see the Usos and the Bludgeon and the Club of Gallows and Anderson being used tonight in a pretty decent match, but we'll get to that later. Zelina Vega is with Andrade Cien for a promo. Basically, she says Andrade Cien is the man. He gets the finest items. He gets the finest cars, the finest jewelry, the finest everything. I'm like, is she talking about Andrade Cien or Kona Reeves in NXT? Because Kona Reeves is the guy down there saying he has all the finest things, the finest cars, the finest jewels, and all that stuff. She says, he's the future of SmackDown Live, and if he don't get what he deserves, then he will take it. We have Andrade Cien versus a local jobber. They did not actually get the jobber a name this time. A Let's Go Jobber chant, which that happens every time you have a heel go up against a jobber. Almost with a vicious back elbow. The jobber did get some licks on Andrade Cien, which was nice to see. It's not just a complete squash, even though it was a squash. He does take a couple shots spot for the local jobber, so Andrade Cien selling for a guy that nobody had a name for. Almost does hit a vicious back elbow. It looked like he just killed this jobber with that elbow. Like he hit him in the temple, and that temple exploded right there. Almost with the running knees in the corner to the front of the face, and then to the back of the head. Hammerlock DDT for the 3 count, and your winner is Andrade Cien. Then we had what we want to call the female Enzo Amore being interviewed by, I think it was Dasha Fuentes, or it's not Charlie Cruz, I know that. Probably Dasha Robato, about Asuka.
Carmella?
Which, by the way, she was wearing Asuka's mask with the chains around it, so it was a legit one. So did she go into Asuka's locker room, into the women's locker room, find Asuka's mask, and just take it for a ride? I don't know. Did they actually sell Asuka's mask with the chains around it? I don't know.
Carmella, last week your celebration was ruined when you found out Asuka will be challenging you at Money in the Bank. How do you deal with someone as dominant as Asuka?
Sasha, it does seem like there's an expiration date on my title reign.
Psych!
Oh,
you just see your face right now! You're all, oh.
Because you're a hater, Dasha, just like everybody else. Waiting for me to slip and fall. But that is not going to happen. Everyone's afraid of Asuka, but I'm not. At WrestleMania, the Asuka myth was completely shattered by Charlotte Flair. You know, the same Charlotte Flair that I defeated not once, but twice. Because I beat Charlotte Flair twice. Did you know that? That's simple math. Charlotte.
And one of the most poorly booked, didn't make sense finishes to a match in both at Backlash. It just made no sense. Even Hall of Famers are saying that finish did not make any sense. That you had Charlotte Flair, the Queen Bee of WWE, get beat clean as a whistle by Carmella. Yeah. Didn't make any sense then, and it still makes no sense now.
Beat Asuka, I beat Charlotte twice, so that makes me twice as good as Asuka. And she can use all the smoke mirrors and stupid masks that she wants, but I see right through all of it. If anything, Asuka should be afraid of me. Because at Money in the Bank, I am going to moonwalk all over Asuka, and I'm going to continue to prove that Mela is money.
Nope, you are not. You have never been. You are getting worse in the ring. Your promo skills suck. You are really the female Enzo Amore. She is Carmella Amore. She is just, Mella is boring. Mella is annoying. Mella is a shitty-ass champion. Anybody who had anything to say, good to say about Carmella this time last year is really looking like a fucking moron. Plain and simple. WWE has made everybody who came out and sang Carmella's praises last year when she won Money in the Bank the second time, because they don't want to talk about the first one, even WWE. Even WWE knows that was a fuck-up because they don't even mention it anymore, except for the one time Charlotte Flair did. But other than that, they don't even want you to remember that. She sucks. She needs to lose on Money in the Bank. Asuka needs to come out and win this match, because if Carmella beats Asuka, I can't wait to hear me, you can't wait to hear me, and everybody who sits there and actually has a fucking brain tell you how much of a fucking mistake that is. Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles. If you did not see this, and I'll have something to say about this at the end of the promo, but if you did not see this stipulation coming, then I don't know what to tell you. This was just so obvious.
Listen to me very, very carefully. I will not just beat you. I will dishonor you. You will never recover. Your title is mine. Your house is now my house.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be the last match I ever have. So, why don't you tell us what the stipulation is?
All right. All right. The stipulation at Money in the Bank will be a pillow fight.
A pillow fight? Did you just say pillow fight?
That's another break for me, this thing. We had two things that needed to be decided tonight. Stipulation for the world title match, and who's going to be in, which member of the New Day is going to enter Money in the Bank. We do get the stipulation, and the other one we have to still wait whenever the fuck that's decided. Can we get some seriousness in here? I mean, that's not even funny. A pillow fight? Oh, come on. Come on, really? I don't know.
You know, this is all starting to make sense now. I always knew you were the king of soft style. You know what? I don't care what the stipulation is. Truth is, you can't beat me when it matters anyway. That's why you take those cheap shots. I think I speak for the WWE Universe when I say this. You're not the Shinsuke Nakamura that we wanted on Smackdown Live. So you can pick whatever stipulation you want. It still won't put you on an even playing field with me. So, I guess I will see you at Money in the Bank.
So they start, it does break down to a nice little brawl. AJ tries to get to the upper hand. Shinsuke does get for a minute, but he gets thrown into the timekeeper's area. AJ goes to take off the announce table because he wants to put Nakamura through it. But it's Nakamura with a chair. Goes to hit AJ, but AJ moves off the table, off the announce table. And he throws Nakamura into the area where you were in a WWE game, being able to fight. So he beats up at Nakamura a little bit in the crowd area. It looks like he's going to go for the phenomenal forearm off of the barricade, and shot by Nakamura.
Tried to maim AJ Styles.
Nakamura, of course, then starts counting. He gets to about 6. AJ gets up. He beats him down again. Hits him with, then he lines it up. And he hits. Hits the Kinshasa. He counts again, gets to 10, gets on the announce table, and says, last man standing match. One fucking problem. We just got to finish at Backlash to a last man standing match in a no disqualification match. Both men kicked each other in the balls. Both men fell down. The referee, like a fucking idiot, counted to 10 and both men were down. What is the difference between that match and this match that's going to happen at Money in the Bank? We are going to get the exact same fucking finish. Maybe not both kicking each other in the balls. That was the whole reason they made that last match, was to just have each other kick each other in the balls. But I guarantee you we're going to get a Shawn Michaels Triple H finish that we had at Royal Rumble 2004. Both men were down, 10, and the match is over. We're going to get a non-finish again. These guys have wrestled at WrestleMania against each other, Greatest Royal Rumble, Backlash, and Smackdown last week. And they're going to be at Money in the Bank. So far, we've had 4 matches. 2 with conclusive finishes, with AJ winning 1 at WrestleMania and Nakamura winning last week on SmackDown. The other 2 have been no contest. So we're going to get the finale at Money in the Bank? I don't know. But it looks like we're going to get the exact same fucking finish we got at Backlash. Both men down, ref starts counting 10. If you really fucking want to do this right, the referee is going to have to be instructed that if both men are down, you do not count. Why? We need a conclusive finish. Plain and simple. We'll have to wait and see, but I have no hope for them to do this shit. Gallows and Anderson versus the Usos SmackDown Tag Team title number 1 contender match. Both teams got a jobber entrance. So even the number 1 contenders match for the SmackDown Live Tag Team titles, people reporting that WWE does not care about tag team wrestling, has been confirmed from yesterday and today, when you had jobber entrances for tag team today, and the B team getting prominent roles over the Authors of Pain and the Revival. This breaks down before the bell after Gallows and Anderson cuts a promo. Did we have that promo on here? Please tell me they have that promo on here. Give a minute, we have an ad to deal with, so that's just how that works. I don't care about Westworld.
What up, Moose? Huh? Usos, we respect y'all. Yeah, we do. But respectfully, when y'all had y'all shot with the Bludgeon Brothers, you blew it. That's right. So at Money in the Bank, it's not going to be the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Blew It Brothers. It's going to be these 2 good brothers taking our rightful spot at the top of the SmackDown Tag Team division. Yeah. And if that means going through YouTube, hey, you know where you at? This ain't Japan, Oos. This ain't Monday Night Raw. This is SmackDown Live where the Usos reside. You gotta earn it right here. Welcome to the Uso Penitentiary.
God, I missed the good Uso promo.
Uso Penitentiary? Uso Penitentiary? I don't see no wardens. Nah. You know what I see a couple of?
And of course, Anderson and Gallows says nerds. They do break it pretty much breaks down to a brawl before the match. Gallows going up against Jay for the beginning of the match. Jay and Jimmy holding their own, taking down both Gallows and Anderson to the outside as they go to break. Anderson is in control as we get back from break. Neckbreaker off the top rope for a 2 count by Anderson. Jay with a step up enziguri to Anderson, who tags in Gallows. Double jump kicks by Gallows and by the Usos as Gallows foolishly runs head first into the body first into the turnbuckle as one of the Usos moves. Double jump kicks by both of them, splashed by Jimmy after a super kick for a 2 count. Double Oos stop by Anderson. Gallows catches him. Magic Killer to Jimmy for the 3 count. Winners and number 1 contenders, the Good Brothers, also known as the Club, also known as Gallows and Anderson. Naomi versus Sonya Deville, Money in the Bank qualifier. Becky Lynch watching from the back. They show her for some reason. Naomi and they mixed Naomi was getting like Sonya Deville shoved Naomi back after a kick or something, and she just does the split in the middle of the ring. Sonya Deville does get a spear onto it looked like a spear. They called it a takedown, whatever. They show Charlotte now running knees to Naomi's back for a 2 count. Deville with a scissors lock on Naomi. Spine buster by Deville for a 2 count. And then Byron Saxton had to say, and this does piss me off just a little bit. Byron Saxton on commentary says Edge's Hall of Fame career started when he cashed in Money in the Bank in 2005 or 2006. So his time as a member of E&C, all the legendary tag team matches between the Hardys, the Dudleys, and Edge and Christian, the Triangle Ladder matches, the TLC matches, none of that fucking matters. Edge's career, his Hall of Fame career, started in 2006 when he's been in WWE since 1998 or 99, whenever that was. He's had match after match after match. He was tag team with Christian. He had a tag team title run with Rey Mysterio. A tag team title run with fucking Hulk Hogan. It's like, yeah, all that stuff that happened before 2006 doesn't matter. Hall of Fame career. I know I'm nitpicking here, but that is just like fucking disrespectful to Edge. Adam Copeland did a hell of a lot more and was Hall of Fame worthy already before he got to winning the WWE Championship. You don't have to be WWE Champion to be a Hall of Fame worthy guy. If you make a presence known and you have a good presence, hell, Matt Hardy has never been WWE Champion. Matt Hardy has never been World Heavyweight Champion in WWE. Impact Wrestling, they don't care about that. He is Hall of Fame worthy just because of his contributions to tag team wrestling in the Attitude Era. Christian, Edge, the Dudley Boys, Hardy Boys, all of those guys, all 6 of those guys, are Hall of Fame worthy just for what they did in the Attitude Era and the fact that they saved tag team wrestling. Plain and simple. Byron Saxton, you fucking moron. I don't know who told you to say that, if it was on the script for you to say, but you should be you insult Edge like that. It just pisses me off. Naomi and Deville trade some kicks, then a kick to each other, sending them back. It looked like Naomi got Deville in the head, while Deville got Naomi in the knee. Naomi with a flip pin out to that for a little bit longer for a 3 count, and Naomi is your winner, and she fills up the Smackdown side of the Women's Money in the Bank, which has Charlotte, Becky, Lana, and Naomi for the women's. Of course, Ross has Alexa Bliss, Natalia, Ember Moon, and one more spot to go with the Last Chance next week. Deville looked so upset. She was literally in tears crying because she didn't win tonight. Oh, boo-hoo, you suck as it is. You weren't meant for Money in the Bank. Oh, well. Try again next year. Maybe actually get some talent, and maybe we'll see you then. Jeff Hardy was in the back. I wish I had the clip for this because I honestly could not decipher half of what this guy was saying. Plain and simple. This dude, just talking about, he was in the zone. He's in the zone. He pretty much said he was, in the zone and can't wait to go up against Daniel Bryan for the first time ever. And that's what we have. It's Jeff Hardy versus Daniel Bryan. Winner faces Joe next week. They didn't announce before this match. The New Day will take on The Bar and The Miz next week after what happened earlier in the night. Still, we don't know who's going to be in the Money in the Bank for the men for the New Day, which is fucking retarded. Samoa Joe's on commentary for this match. These two lock up and we are underway. Hardy with a shoulder tackle to Bryan. Bryan does get a wrist lock onto Hardy, twisting his arm all around. Bryan with his own shoulder tackle for a 2 count, driving Hardy to the ground hard. Bryan with the flip over the turnbuckle, but Hardy hits the atomic drop. Leg drop combo. Bryan rolls out of the ring as they go to break. Back from break, a double cross body lay both men out. Both men up, and they start trading shots because, when you're having a big match, everyone's got to start trading shots halfway through. Standing yes kicks, but Hardy catches him, but Bryan hits an enziguri. Running drop kick to the outside by Daniel Bryan on to Jeff Hardy. He goes for the running knees from the outside, but Jeff moves out of the way. Jeff gets on the apron, and he hits the running clothesline. And, of course, you see anytime Daniel Bryan wrestles a match and he gets taken down, and you see like his head go to his hand, or his arm or his hands go to his head, you're like, oh, shit, did he hurt himself? Did he get hurt? Just one of those things that you get scared for a minute. Back to the ring, Jeff goes up top. He goes for, looked like Whisper and Wind or something. Bryan drops him on the turnbuckle and puts him in the trio whirl. Some guest kicks and then a low drop kick in the corner. Bryan tries a back suplex off the top rope for some reason, but Jeff gets out of it and knocks him down. He gets a Whisper in the Wind for a 2 count. Twist of fate, but Bryan blocks and a shot to Hardy's knee, which plays a factor into the end of the match. Because Jeff Hardy, for the last month and a half, I think he's got a little bit of an injury to his knee because he's been playing that knee up for a while. Hopefully he's not, injured to where it could get bad. We have Randy Orton out until about SummerSlam, so that's why he wasn't in a Money in the Bank qualifier, pretty much because he was injured. Jeff hits the Twist of Fate to Bryan as he goes up top. Swanton bomb, but Bryan gets his knees up and spin kicks to Hardy's head for only a 2 count. Bryan goes for the running knee, but Hardy moves out of the way and rolls up Bryan for a 2. Then he tries again for another 2 count. Uppercuts by Daniel Bryan. Another Twist of Fate goes from Jeff Hardy, but that's blocked into a dragon screw, and it looked like he literally destroyed Jeff's leg. That dragon screw by Daniel Bryan is so devastating. It looked like he literally ripped his knee out of its socket. He then hooks in the heel hook and the tap out. Daniel Bryan is your winner. Samoa Joe gets in the ring and they stay down for a minute. He says, I don't know why he is celebrating, because next week you face me. They stare down again, and Joe leaves. In the back with Renee Young, Joe is asked, why is he always strong words? Next week, when I come out here and drop truths, why is it always strong words? Daniel Bryan goes to sleep next week. Yes, yes, yes. Daniel Bryan's music playing in the out there, and that is the end of the show. SmackDown Live had a hell of a show this week. It was better than anything we saw last night. Last night was an absolute abomination. I don't know who thought last night was a good idea, but last night sucked. Last night was a complete and utter abomination. But tonight, SmackDown was better by leagues and bounds. SmackDown was 100% better. Was it the best? No, because there were, of course, logic gaps. Where was Ty Dillinger? Why didn't Ty Dillinger and Shelton Benjamin get an opportunity to face Samoa Joe next week? Why did it have to be Daniel Bryan versus Jeff Hardy in a second chance? Why are they getting another shot? Corey Graves put out a good thing. Why is Sonya Deville getting another shot? I mean, yeah, the women's division on SmackDown is pretty much thin. They went through everybody already. But it's why is she getting a shot when I'm sure they could have found somebody else in the back? But then why is Jeff Hardy and Daniel Bryan getting another shot to go up against Shelton Benjamin? Against Samoa Joe. Why couldn't we give a Ty Dillinger and a Shelton Benjamin a one-on-one match? The winner of that goes on to face Samoa Joe next week. I don't think either of those two got a Money in the Bank qualifying match. Why not give those two a shot? Jeff Hardy definitely lost tonight because I'm pretty sure he's putting his title on the line at Money in the Bank. And quite honestly, because I already pitched it earlier, Samoa Joe should beat Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan should Daniel Bryan should challenge Jeff Hardy to the United States Championship, and we get Daniel Bryan versus Jeff Hardy 2 at Money in the Bank for the United States Championship. And you could get the title or whatever, I don't know, but why didn't we have Andrade Cien Almas? Because you had Zelina Vega say, if he doesn't get what he wants, he takes it. Which I don't think you want to see Andrade Cien Almas versus Samoa Joe yet anyway, but still, why did you give these two another shot? So next week we have another pay-per-view quality match, another match that should headline a pay-per-view on free TV. And again, this is why WWE putting everything at dual-branded pay-per-views, even though Money in the Bank is a Big 5 now, and it's called, and they did actually the night after Backlash call this season now, this entire 6-week span Money in the Bank season, which is fine. Okay, that's fine. But so we have one spot each left. We have the men, which will be decided on SmackDown, and the women, which will be decided on Raw, which tells me that Raw is going to get the women's Money in the Bank briefcase, while SmackDown is going to get the men's. Just my opinion. So again, SmackDown was a pretty decent show. It wasn't a knockout of the park. There was some great moments. It was leagues better than Monday Night Raw was the night before, which we will talk about on Unscripted this Friday, this Saturday. We will be talking about the possibility that SmackDown Live goes to 3 hours and my thoughts on that. The $1 billion investment that Fox has made into SmackDown starting in fall of next year. And much, much more. And we do have our NXT review for tomorrow, which is going to be interesting to see where we are for the money for TakeOver Chicago and what's going to happen. Who's going to be facing who? I think I know who's going to be facing who just off of what happened last week. But my name is DeFrance. Find me on Twitter at DeFrance. Find me on Twitch.tv/DeFrance08. I stream every single day. I did have a little hiccup today. My internet went out and we had an outage in town for about 3 or 4 hours, which was a big bummer for me. But I am on there every single day. Also, hit that subscribe button, comment down below. Let me know what you thought of SmackDown Live and Money in the Bank qualifiers being done tonight. And let me know what you think of SmackDown overall. And I will see you guys tomorrow for NXT. Smash that like button, and I will see you guys later.